Mireya, and I'm a labor nurse. It's 10 minutes to 7. Time to start my shift. Come on. Welcome to my world.
Contracting. She's 4 centimeters along when she came in at 5:30. Her bag of water is intact. She does not want an epidural. She didn't have one with her other babies. Okay?
Okay.
What?
Okay. Buenos dias, señora.
Wow.
Okay. Good morning. So, since your mom is Spanish speaking only, I'd rather use an interpreter phone so we can communicate and I can introduce myself properly.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can you answer if she's comfortable right now?
Tengo dolor.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Here. I'm here.
Ay. Tengo miedo, Nicolás, tengo miedo.
She's saying that she's scared.
She's scared.
She's scared.
Tell her I'll be here and I'll be her
Tengo miedo,
primary.
Nicolás.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ow.
Does everything feel okay?
Okay. She has a cord prolapse, like the cord is out.
¿Qué pasó, Nicolás? ¿Qué
Let me
pasa?
just-
¿Qué pasa?
Is it okay if you can press
¿Qué pasa,
the call
Nicolás?
light or the staff alert in there?
Nicolás, ¿qué pasó? Ay,
Where
ay,
is
ay,
it?
ay. Ay, ay,
I
ay.
think
Ay, Nicolás.
there's it. The staff. It's a staff.
Okay.
Yeah.
¿Qué
Can you
pasa?
press that for
¿Qué
me?
pasa, Nicolás?
Okay, ma'am. It's okay.
¿Qué pasó?
It's okay. Oh. That one. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll just lower down your head. Tell her I'll lower
Okay.
down the head a little.
Okay. Ow. Ow. ¿Qué estás haciendo?
And
¿Qué
can you-
estás haciendo?
Can you tell her
¿Qué estás
that
haciendo?
that the heart of the baby is, is ahead of the head?
Hi, Ana. ¿Qué está pasando?
I have a heart prolapse here.
Ow. Ow.
You have a cord prolapse? Get on the bed.
Yes.
Get on the bed. Let's go to the OR. you guys.
Grab the 7, para
Don't
5.
move your hand. Keep your hand. Keep the head up.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
Call anesthesia.
Anesthesia.
Call some staff in. Let's go to the OR.
¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué
Is anybody helping me move this bed?
What do you need, Hess?
Hi, I'm Dr.
¿Qué está pasando? ¿Qué está
I'm
pasando?
Dr.
We're going to the
Does
OR.
anybody speak Spanish?
Open the
Sí,
OR.
hablas
All right,
español.
un momentito, open the OR.
Pediatrician and anesthesia will call.
Okay.
Todo está bien, mamá.
Can you take the break off? We have
Tiene
to
una cordón, tu bebé tiene un cordón, que abajo la cabeza ahorita.
Tengo miedo.
And where's the
Está
anesthesia?
bien.
I've been
Tiene
called
unos
already.
dientes,
Okay,
The
let's
door
go.
is
Ayúdate.
Tengo
open.
miedo.
Heart
Nicolás.
prolapse.
Oh, es Nicolás, ese está nervioso. Ok, un momentito, papá. Yo regreso para tu.
Whoever walked down and never opened the door.
En un momentito yo regreso para tu. Ok.
Okay.
Watch this.
Would you want me to go with her?
In just 1 minute, I'm going to come back and get you.
Okay.
Okay. Mama, en just un momentito, yo regreso con Nicolás, ok?
Can I get the hat, you guys?
Breathe through your mouth. Boca.
Can you get Gina the hat?
Yes, I can. Respira, mama.
Can you
Respira.
open the door, you guys, so we can get this patient in the room? Thank you.
El baby viene.
No, el bebé está casi aquí, mamá.
El
No
baby
coja.
viene, el baby
Respira,
viene.
mamá. Respira. Sopla, sopla. Mamá, sopla. Sí, bien. Como esto.
El baby viene.
La bebé viene pronto, mamá, pero necesito.
¿Qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué estás haciendo?
La bebé viene y viene aquí y no está bien para la bebé. Ok, no coja. Muy importante. Ok, no tiene miedo, no tiene miedo. Todo está bien.
Ahí viene el baby viene. ¿Qué pasa?
La bebé viene la otra moda. Ok,
¿La?
no cesárea.
¿Cesárea? ¿Por
Sí,
qué?
sí. ¿Por qué? Porque la corona está abajo la cabeza. Si la bebé viene ahorita, no viene.
Ahí viene el baby.
Espera, baby está bien ahorita. Pero no bien. Okay, we need to have the bed out. Are we plugged in?
Yeah.
Are we plugged in?
Can somebody get on me, please? Somebody tie me. Lisa, if you're free.
Yep. But we gotta get her up in the bed. Here, hold on a second.
El baby viene.
Is it plugged in, Cindy?
Ahí viene el baby.
Is it plugged in?
Yeah.
El baby viene. El baby viene.
Let's get it in place to tell Mama. You know, I can't find her.
Lisa.
El baby viene.
Lisa, I need the instruments open.
Okay.
Ok, pero tengo presión.
So you stay on the bed?
Do I need to know anything about this?
So she's a 37-year-old, she's
Okay, you guys have
75.
her on the bed.
She's 5 centimeters dilated with a bag, bulging bag of waters. Ruptured and she has a pancreas. No
Cindy,
Jeanette, did you see any?
Yes, the pulsation is good in the card. It's about
Did you see any meconium?
No,
Lisa, forget the bed. Open the instruments now.
No bleeding, but spontaneous ruptured membrane.
So we're gonna put it to
we
sleep
know about that.
and we're gonna do asses. Is there any here?
Yeah, pop the top up. Marina, then on the side. Marina's not here. Tell me out there.
You gotta unplug the bed.
Baby's 147.
Okay.
Yes, we're doing everything.
Okay.
So Jeanette, you just keep the head.
Okay, tiny.
No viene, mamá. Todo está bien, no empuja, es muy importante. Que bien trabaja, mamá. Todo está bien. En un momento. Oh, Nicholas está aquí. Okay, good. Nicholas, it's muy importante. Excuse me, English friend. Okay, all right. So it's really important. Let's touch anything. Okay. And I'm going to have pressure to go over.
Okay, are we gonna splash or what are we doing? Yeah. Let's go. Let's put it to sleep and then we'll go.
Okay. Todo está bien. Y cuando te despiertas, la ven tú estás bien. Okay.
Okay, Foley's in.
Let's go, let's get the drape on.
Anna, go put those on with your hands.
Time, call it.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit of what I do when I come to work. We here in Southern Delta, we do 12-hour shifts. Sometimes it is only 12 hours. Sometimes it becomes 16 hours. Whatever they want to do when they're having a baby, that's what my goal is, because it's a different experience for everybody. Not all deliveries are the same. So when the patient comes in, either can be in labor or she want to be induced, or whatever the reason is, my job is to come in, introduce myself, and tell her that I'll be taking care of her during her whole day. These are the monitors that we use, and I'm going to show you what the sound is of a baby in a little bit, but the monitors that we use, and it's all computerized, so we do electronic charting. We don't have to do paper anymore. One of the reasons I became a labor nurse is because, we all have a story. When I was little, I always enjoy when my aunts have babies, and it was something like I really want to do something with helping mommies have babies. Even though I wanted to become a nurse, a doctor, I wanted to become an OB doctor. Where I come from, it takes a long time for you to be a doctor. So when we moved here to the United States, that's what I decided to do. I wanted to become a nurse. And I found this hospital in Los Angeles, and they told me that they would train me. So I started working there, and we used to do 600 deliveries a month. 600 deliveries a month is a lot. So it was always moving, and I'm thankful for that place because that's where I got most of my experience. It's a place where there is joy most of the time. You see parents that is their first baby, so you see how they become a new family. You see parents that have only boys and then suddenly they get a girl, or the other way, and it's just an emotion. It doesn't, I can't tell you guys how much it is to see life come out. It's like the moment the baby is born, it doesn't matter how many times I see a delivery a day or many times a day, it's just a new life coming to be alive. And to me, that's just the greatest feeling, to see the baby come out, to see the baby cry. Yes, there is sad times in labor and delivery too. We don't have them that much, but we do have sad times. And when that happens, then we try to make sure that mommy and daddy are well taken care of, because it's a big loss too. So not only that, you have to take care of the mommy, but you have to be listening, be attentive to the doctor's needs too, because when the baby comes out, there's a lot of commotion in the room, the doctor needs stuff, so you have to divide yourself in different places at the same time. And that's why we always have a team, a nurse that takes care of mommy, a nurse that takes care of the baby, and pediatricians, doctors, the OB doctors, so we're never alone. Yes, I cannot deny that I have had deliveries on my own. There's sometimes the doctors don't make it, mommy have to push, and well, babies need to come out and they will just come out. I've been a labor nurse for 23 years, and I feel like I have the best job in the world because I take care of a new life. I have to make sure that mommy's fine, I have to make sure the baby's fine, and not only delivering, but through the whole process, coming to have the baby, having the baby, teaching mommy what it is to be a mommy, and then send them on their way home. And it's very satisfying to, when you are on the street and at the stores, and I can't remember faces, but people will come and say, "Oh, you were my nurse," and I'm so thankful. And this is my son, remember, or my daughter, and they are 3 or 4 years old, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember." And of course, I can't remember every single face, but it is something that you will never forget who takes good care of you. And that's the reason why I wanted to become a labor nurse, because I feel like of all the places in the hospital, this is a happy place. Most of the time, it's a happy place. That's why I enjoy working in labor. So if you guys, whoever decides to be a nurse, there is so many fields that you can go, but my home is labor and delivery. This is where I know that I can do my best job because I enjoy it. And there's a saying that I always have in my mind, that if you enjoy your work, it doesn't seem like you're working every day. So that's why this is like my favorite place in the world. And yeah, sometimes it's hard. We are on our feet most of the day, and I go home and I'm tired, but at the same time, I am happy with what I do every day. So I hope you guys enjoy this little video, and to show you from my other co-workers what do they feel about being a labor nurse too. Enjoy it. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what a C-section room looks like. This is our warmer for our baby. When the baby is delivered, we put the baby over here, and one of the nurses and the pediatrician will take care of the baby over here. And if we look this way, this is where the anesthesiologist does his station. All the machines that he needs to put the patient, either give him a spinal, an epidural, or put the patient to sleep for a C-section. So these are all the connections and their machines that they need. When the patient comes in, we place the patient on the bed, and this is where the new adventure begins for a lot of mothers. New babies come, so I just wanted to show you a little bit what a C-section room looks like. Part of being a labor nurse is we triage the patients to make sure that if they are truly in labor, they're gonna stay. So what I have over here is a triage room. We put the monitors on the mommy and to make sure that she's having contractions or she's having contractions before she's supposed to deliver, or if she's ready to deliver. This is where we determine if mommy's gonna stay and continue the process of labor, or we're gonna send her home to do some laboring at home, walking or resting for a little while because it's not time. We don't want to see any babies come out before 38 weeks because then babies will have more problems, and mommies can go up to 42 weeks pregnant, and that's when it's time for us to help labor start. So this is where the beginning of the process is. The doctor decides for her to stay. This is where the room where delivery happens. As you guys can see, we put mommies on the bed, but they can walk, they can sit on the rocking chair, they can go on the tub and have the labor. I help with the mommies, coaching them. I help them with getting an epidural. I start IVs, give them medications. Through the whole process, labor, I manage to make sure mommy and baby are well. And this is what we put on, one for the baby heart, and the other one is to measure the contractions. What's your name?
Andrea Schreiber.
And what do you
I'm
do?
the Director of Women's and Children's Services at Sutter Delta. Okay, so nursing, great opportunity, good pay. You can do anything you want. You can be any kind of nurse, any hours, any shifts. You can go anywhere in the country and get a job. You can be an office nurse, a hospital nurse, a nurse in the prison. You can do anything.
And why did you decide to be a nurse?
I became a nurse because I was hospitalized in junior high school, I think 7th grade. I had a ruptured appendix, and in those days you were isolated, and I was in isolation for 13 days. And I had a nurse, her name was Mrs. Beasley, and she inspired me to become a nurse. She was just awesome. So I am here because of Mrs. Beasley.
And how long you been a nurse?
since 1984.
All right. So, when I tell you guys that this is my boss, when you guys finish school, fill out your application, you might be able to be working in this labor unit. Being a nurse, Antoinette?
I've been a nurse for 8 years. Been in labor and delivery business of baby making for over 20.
And why did you decide to be a labor nurse?
Well, I had 5 children. I loved giving birth. And as I stopped having children, I wanted to give and partake in helping others with the ease of having a baby.
What advice would you give someone who is thinking about being a labor nurse or a nurse in general?
Well, nursing has many diversities and it is such a dynamic field. I myself currently am a travel nurse.
And what does traveling nurse mean?
Well, I get the option of traveling to different facilities. I work with an agency, and the agency finds jobs for me where there's need. My specialty is labor and delivery, so they find needs in labor and delivery. So I go in different parts of the states, but there are some travelers that go abroad as well, and we just fill in where there's needs.
And about being a labor nurse, what is your favorite part of just being a labor nurse?
Well, I guess it stemmed when I was a child. I saved my sister. My parents were out of the room and my sister fell off the bed. She busted her nose. I took a wad of toilet paper and put it up to her nose and put her head back. And I knew at that time, I wanted to be a nurse and I wanted to help people. But why I became a labor nurse is because I love the birth of children. I love being on the threshold of life. And this is my chance of giving back and helping others with the gift that I was given, and that was my children that were born, and I love helping them have a beautiful experience in laboring.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
So I'm here with Samantha. Samantha is a nurse that has many skills. She is a pediatric nurse, she is a NICU nurse, and she is a postpartum nurse. And what that means is when mommies come to deliver, I take care of them. Samantha, in some cases, she'll be taking care of the baby. Even when the babies are sick, she'll take care of them. And sometimes she does postpartum nursing, which is taking care of the mommies when they go to the other side of the unit and stay here for 1 or 2 days, or if it's a C-section, for like 3 or 4 days as we care for them. So Samantha, what made you be a nurse?
I became a nurse actually after a life experience. I actually had a little boy that was my first son, and he was born with some complications. So I actually spent some time as a patient in preterm labor, and then we spent some time at UCSF with him. And so my nursing career really is a tribute to my son, and I find great pride and joy in sharing that experience, even though it was really tough, and kind of bonding with other families that I support that kind of have the surprise or hardship sometimes of things not going right. So it's just good to be able to know that for them, I feel like I kind of have a little specialty in that way, that because of my life experience, I'm very passionate on supporting and helping.
So you see, Samantha, when we have patients that have lost a baby, she's a perfect person to talk to them because she has gone through it, and it gives them a patient the look that, you know, they're not alone, and they can get support from people that have gone through the same experience. How long you been a nurse, Samantha?
I've been a nurse now for 17 years. I've held thousands of babies in my hands, which is such a great thing. Our type of nursing, we get to really celebrate the joy of life. And sometimes there are hard things that happen, but for the most part, it feels so good to be at work with some amazing people and to see these new lives come into our hands, and then we send them out to the world, and they
And so
return.
maybe she has been one of your nurses, because we've been for
Caught
a
you.
long time, so we may be one of the ones that caught you.
That's right.
All right. Anything you want to say to somebody who would like to be a nurse?
Well, what I would like to say is for young people, this is a very, very rewarding career, and that it's a career now that's rewarding for men and women, and that it really provides great joy to your heart as well as your mind, and also gives you a nice, stable type of career that allows you to be an independent person, and that's a big deal. So I just say if you have any interest in nursing or anything around nursing or the health field, to go for it.
Talk to
And-
somebody like us.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And we're not only co-workers, but we are family.
Yep.
This is our second
right.
family.
I finally got to be a labor nurse a year ago.
And we loved her, and we kept her. And so what is the best, what is the best thing you like about being a labor nurse?
I feel like the birth of a baby is a miracle, and it's enjoyable to be there with the family and the parents, bringing in life, and it's just amazing.
All right. What advice would you give a person that wants to be a labor nurse?
I would say to definitely, my advice was, I like what I did by going to L&C first for 2 years, and we went through our L&C nursing program. It's really hard to get into school, so you want to try to apply everywhere you can, and when you go in through your nursing school, you just want to really explore the different areas and see what's best for you.
Because nursing it's like a glove. You can do a lot of fittings until you find the perfect fit, the perfect glove. That's where you want to be. And if you don't like that fit, you can always change later on, but you can always have the chance to try anything you want to do. So like I said before, we are not only co-workers, but we are like a family. So thank you, Natalie.
We're sisters. We call each other our sisters.
And Yasmin, how long have you been a nurse?
I have been a nurse since 2013. I graduated from Los Medanos College, and then I went to Cal State East Bay to get my bachelor's in 2014.
And why do you decided, or why do you want to be a labor nurse?
I've always wanted to be a labor and delivery nurse as far as I can remember. That's why I went to nursing school. I just wanted to be a part of giving birth is the most precious moment in your life, and I really wanted to be a part of that, and just to help ease the pain and the pressure of all the moms. I also volunteered as a doula, so I'm familiar with what the moms need, and just to have that peaceful time when this wonderful miracle is coming.
And let me ask you, what advice will you give somebody that is wanting to look into being a labor nurse?
I think definitely volunteer, just get familiar with it. I was a volunteer doula, and just being around the whole situation with laboring and what a mother goes through, what the family goes through, that you have to be not only a nurse to the patient, the family, the baby. So I think all that is wonderful experience if you're thinking about it, so you could see if this is what fits for you.
Okay, and I wanted to let you guys know that Jasmine started the internship program here about 3 weeks ago. So she's learning right now how to be a labor nurse. And what has been the experience so far?
Oh, it's been wonderful, just learning everything, being around the babies. Lots to learn, but it's just wonderful. If that's what you love, if you're passionate about it, then it just makes your job easy.
And guess who's been training her? Me.
Best teacher.
So go to school, graduate, and then maybe we'll be the one training you. So how did you get into labor, in the labor unit, into the labor part?
After I graduated from nursing school, I was told by a couple of master's program, a couple of schools that they would prefer someone to have experience on the labor floor, so working with patients in labor and delivery. And so I said, okay. And so instead of going into the master's program directly, I decided, okay, I'll do about a year as a labor and delivery nurse. And I've been here since.
And how long it's been that year? How long it's been that year?
It's been 12.
12 years. So what do you find most satisfying about being a labor nurse?
I think what I like the most about it is that I will always be a part of this wonderful experience in a family. I mean, I may, never get any recognition from the hospitals I work with, or, nobody will ever remember, I may have some coworkers that'll remember me, but, down the line when people retire and things like that, I won't be remembered in the annals of, the healthcare system unless I make some big, huge change. But where I'll always be remembered is in that one family that really appreciated the care that I gave, and I'll always be in their baby book. They'll say, my labor nurse Kelly, or they'll have that picture that I've never even seen, but they have that and they cherish that. And so I think that's, what I like the most about it, is that I will always have a positive impact on someone's life somewhere, and even if I don't know about it.
And what advice will you give a student that is looking to see if they want to be a labor nurse?
I would say volunteer. The way I did it was I became a doula, and I think as a volunteer doula, do some training and try to get some experience in it before you actually commit to it. It's not a glamorous job. It's not, I wouldn't go into it for the money. You have to do it for the love of it. And the only way that you will really get an appreciation is to really try to experience it firsthand and see if it's something that you really love and something that you'll commit to. And I mean, it's not just labor nursing, but anything you do as a student, and you're looking at any career, it has to be something that will make you happy at the end of the day. And, a lot of times trying to do it for money, or like, oh, I'm going to be a nurse because it seems glamorous or things like that. No, you have to be okay with getting pee on you occasionally, or throw up on you occasionally, or wiping someone's poop occasionally. You have to be okay with that, and looking at the bigger picture, which is, being a part of this new life that comes into the world. So I would say try to volunteer or get some other type of experience working with pregnant moms, or, if you can. And the only way you can really do that is probably as a doula. And if you love the support and supporting mommies, then you'll probably love this job.
Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
My name is Amy.
And Amy, how long you been a nurse?
I've been a nurse for almost 8 years.
Okay. And so why you decided to be a labor nurse?
I got the opportunity to do an ROP program when I was in high school, and as part of the program you had to pick a clinical site, and I thought it might be fun, and I got to do a clinical site at Sutter Amador and absolutely loved it and never looked back. I wanted to be a labor nurse or nothing else.
All right. So what advice would you give somebody that wants to be a labor nurse?
Well, you have to get through the rest of clinicals because it sucks when you don't want to do anything else kind of nursing. And if you specifically want to do labor nursing, you need to find a place that you can do some externships or volunteer, any other way to get into a labor and delivery floor. You get that experience. It looks really great. That's the only way I got my job is against other candidates, was that I had experience and I had exposure. So that gave me the leg up.
And so why do you like to work in Sutter Delta as a labor nurse?
I like the small family that we have here. It's not so crazy busy that it's assembly line nursing. You get a good chance to get to know your patients, and because it's a small unit, we have to really lean on each other for help and support, and it's just a real patient-oriented, nurse-oriented place to be.
So you see, we're not only co-workers, but we are sisters.
We are sisters.
Become a nurse.
Yay! There you go.
And I come to work like this too.
Okay. So, what's your name?
My name is Lisa.
And Lisa, how long you been a nurse?
I have been a nurse since 1998, so for 17 years.
Have you always been a labor nurse?
Yes.
Always? So what, how did you decide to be a labor nurse?
I knew I wanted to be a labor nurse when I was pretty young. I knew I wanted to be, actually I thought I wanted to be a doctor, an obstetrician, and somewhere along the line I realized that I wanted to spend more time home with my family, and I knew that I wanted to have kids, and so I decided I would be a nurse midwife. So I went to school for nursing to be a nurse midwife, and then somewhere along the line I realized I really loved the bedside care, and I loved the flexibility of being a nurse.
And so how long you've been, all this time you've been a labor nurse. So what will be your more satisfaction about being a labor nurse? What do you like the most?
The whole thing, watching someone come into this world, being with someone at one of the most important moments of their life, it's got to be one of the biggest honors in the world.
Okay, thank you. So what's your name?
Lisa,
And Lisa, how long you been a nurse?
15 years.
15 years. And have you always been a labor nurse?
Yes.
So why did you decide to be a labor nurse? Or, like, why? Why did you got into labor?
Well, I think my younger sister actually has 7 kids, and I was a part of her first birth experience, and I wasn't a nurse at the time, and I really enjoyed being a part of it and part of helping her, and she ended up having a C-section, and I just found it very interesting, and that's why I decided to become, I always knew I wanted to be a labor nurse, even when I started nursing school. That's why I went into nursing school, because I wanted to be a labor nurse.
So how long you been here at Sutter?
I've been at Sutter for 2 years now.
And what other places have you been?
When I first started out as a nurse, I was in nursing school my last year. I became a student nurse extern when they had those back in '99. And I was just an assistant in OB, setting up tables and doing metabolic screens and helping out with circumcisions and things like that. And I just enjoyed it. And I graduated and they offered me a position, and it was a day shift position as a new grad, so it was very hard to come by, so I scooped it up, and I loved it. And I was there for 15 years until I came here, but in between there, I always picked up another job on the side, and after about a year of experience, I found out about travel agencies. And
so what is a travel nurse?
A travel nurse is where you sign up through an agency, and they help you find a job wherever it is you want, whatever city, whatever state. They give you a pay rate. They also pay for your housing and your travel expenses, and you can also take a tax deduction if you're with like so many miles away from your home state. So it looked very attractive to me, so I took it.
So what is the best in your mind? What is the best thing of being a labor nurse?
The best part of being a labor nurse is being involved in that wonderful experience that everyone has with having a baby. Not every experience is wonderful. There are, some good times and some bad times, but the good definitely outweighs the bad. But it's just nice to be a part of their birth experience and the joy that they share in bringing new life into the world. It's a great feeling and a bond that you get with the patients. It's great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Stacy.
And I wanted to tell you guys that working in a unit is not just us labor nurses. We have a whole team of other nurses that have to help us so we can do our job, and everybody coordinates all the efforts to have a successful outcome all the time. So here is Stacy. Stacy is our NICU nurse. She's the one that when mommy's delivering, she's the one making sure the baby's okay. So Stacy, how long you been a nurse?
I have been a nurse for 9 years.
And has it always been NICU?
No, it has not always been NICU. I graduated nursing school and got hired in a pediatric ICU. And so I worked there for 2 years, and then I relocated, and there wasn't a pediatric ICU where I moved. So I applied for a NICU, which is the neonatal ICU. And it was a very uncomfortable transition, and it took a while for me to kind of get my bearings here, but I love what I do now.
She says that she has
the best job in the world.
She doesn't. I do. I have the best job in the world. And so if you have a student or that wants to be a nurse, what would you advise? What would you advise them?
It's hard. It kind of depends on what your motivation is of why you want to be a nurse. Being a nurse is hard. There has to be a deeper motivation than it's good money. It can't be that kind of external reward because it's not easy every day. And so there has to be something that pays you inside, I believe.
No, it doesn't have to do with money.
No, I can't believe they pay me.
No. And so you were telling me before that you wanted to be
Yes, so I never wanted to be a nurse. I had no idea what a nurse really even did. And I wanted to be a midwife. And in order to be a midwife in California, you have to have a nursing license. So I had to go to nursing school. And the cool thing about nursing school is that you have to go through every rotation. And I realized that being a labor nurse was not really what I wanted to do. And I really fell in love with the pediatrics rotation. And that was that.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. And so you have the best job, which I don't think so, but this is her unit. This is where all the things that she works with.
Can you please answer that?
Thank you. Thank you, Stacy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's time to go home. Been here for 12 and a half hours. And whatever you guys decide in life, just make sure that you guys do it with all your heart.